Hello, guys. Good afternoon. This is High Priestess Jamila. Hello, hello. Got a message for y'all today. I was highly inspired to come and do this particular discussion today about why you should remove any kind of hexes and curses, or at least you should start trying to cleanse yourself prior to the age of 40, but also ASAP. So I have been in, just to let you guys know my credentials, I am a psychic medium. I am a natural born witch by bloodline, um, as well as healer. And I have been working for the public and running my company for 6 years. And I've, worked pretty, I don't work hard, I work smart. So I know what I'm talking about. And what I have noticed, and what I have noticed about one of my case studies, because I actually have a couple of case studies, and I'll give you guys an example. If you wait too late, you know how they say a person's stuck in their ways. Hey, Miss Laverne Cheesecakes, I shade to you too. You know how they say that people will get stuck in their ways? Well, it's literally like that. Like you can literally become stuck. So in order to understand how that works, you have to understand demons and spirits and contracts. There are certain entities and demons that feed off of your mind, feed off of your throat. Some of them feed off of your heart. Some of them feed off of your sexual energy. Some of them feed off your stomach. Some of them feed off your root chakra, your back. And what I have noticed is that the longer that people hold on to these entities, it tends to warp a person's ability for them to grow as a person. Being someone that's stuck in your ways without having the ability of being open minded can be extremely detrimental to your life and your health and your money. You ever hear people say, man, if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have none at all. So basically, what these entities, what I've found that they do is that when you keep them with you for too long, they tend to start to affect the mind to where the person becomes very warped. People are supposed to get smarter the older that they get and wiser, not dumber. And I've noticed people that are above the age of 40, and it seems like their minds just start to deteriorate. Um, let's take my ex, for example, which I don't even consider him to be my ex. I consider him to be a booty call. I'm going to have to explain this to him again on my other channel, probably a little bit later. I want to get business, taken care of, though. Oh, nice. Well, welcome, honey. Welcome. So make sure you subscribe. Um, so my ex has turned himself into a case study because he's a perfect example of a 45-year-old man whose mind is completely warped. He did not ascend. Okay. You can't really experience any kind of ascension until you break curses and break old habits or old ways of thinking. You cannot actually ascend and elevate yourself. And so my ex has not elevated himself. He's really um completely, it's really like dealing with a child. It literally is like dealing with a child, and that's how people see him. And he casts all kinds of sympathy and glamour spells and stuff. But the one thing I can tell you about my ex is that he has really, really, really bad luck. He just was born with bad luck, just born very unfortunate. At least that's the way he sees it, and it's sort of grown into this monster of a human being that we can't even really call a human being anymore. In fact, um, his entire manosphere for himself, his personal power has deteriorated in the past year, almost to the point where he has become worthless as a man, and has turned into a walking shell. Why? Because his demons control him. Uh, and they really make him look silly. One day he says one thing, the next day he says something else. He'll make affirmations about this. He never sticks with nothing. He, feels some type of way about witches. And when it's convenient for him, he wants to dabble. Okay. And so this is a part of his bad luck also, because dabbling is not good. And so this man runs around like a maniac, judging everybody, not actually living real life, just judging people and thinking all day. Judging people and thinking all day. Judging people and thinking all day. Not actually experiencing life. Very, very isolated. Um, I mean, literally it deteriorated in the past year. And so his demons cause depression. They cause manic episodes for him. Um, they also mess with his perception a whole lot. His perception is warped. His perception of himself is warped. His perception of other people is warped. He has extremely bad luck. He makes these plans for things to happen, but they never do because he has a curse on him. Um, Now, one of the reasons why I didn't remove that curse is because it's a very expensive ritual that he would have to pay for, because he's not my husband. I'm not going to do work on somebody that's going to benefit someone else. Okay. He's got a lot of curses on him. Yeah, self-sabotaging and wanting to sabotage other people. He's not really a narcissist, but he has a lot of narcissistic traits, possibly because the way he was treated as a child. I believe that the way that he treats me, to where he singles me out, he doesn't want me talking to anybody, he wants to isolate me. This is the direct result of the way he must have been treated as a child. He was treated differently than his other siblings. This is the reason why sometimes being raised with siblings can mess you up even more. I was an only child. My parents were a little narcissistic, wrapped up in themselves. They got worse as they got older, because what happens is that it deteriorates. I'm gonna tell you, in the future, my ex is going to end up with dementia. He already has dementia. He is at stage 2 of having dementia. He's going to end up with Alzheimer's. You can just tell, because it's just a world of crazy. And he tends, he's stuck. He is absolutely stuck. He does not see the things that he does to other people. He does not see the negative effects that he has on the people around him. He just does not care. This is because he is riddled with demons. And some of the symptoms that I noticed that he has is, man, saying one thing and then doing another. Um, being completely and totally backwards and upside down, and then even sometimes being possessed by the devil himself, by his own admission. It is a, you know what? I think it is a learned behavior, but to be honest with you, I believe that it is strictly because he is cursed, but he refuses to remove it. He refuses to even believe in witchcraft, which is the same thing with my father. My father is cursed, but he doesn't believe in witchcraft. So what does he do? Instead of him removing the curse, he goes around blind, not understanding that when you read out of the book of the Bible, when you read out of the book of the Holy Bible, those are spells. So when you're that dense, I'm sorry, because you know what, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I am gaining total freedom from these misogynistic males. And misogyny basically equals stupidity, it equals ignorance. But yeah, people that, and I was actually talking about this yesterday, people that are clearly cursed, like people can see they're doing strange things, things that just don't make any sense at the age of, 30, 35, 36, 40 years old, just doing weird, right? Comprehension. He can't comprehend. Okay. And so when you try to help them, people like that, when you try to help them, what they do, what those demons cause them to do, so that nobody will help them, because basically the demon, is basically siphoning energy. It's important because your life expectancy is going to be cut short. Okay. Your life expectancy can be cut short if you don't remove hexes. That's just like my ex. He's 45 years old. Typically, men at his age typically don't even get married until they're in their 40s. A lot of women don't get married until they're in their 40s. For some reason, this man believes that because he's 45, his life is over and that he should just be sad and depressed every single day. He wakes up miserable, trying to find someone to attack. Okay. So full fledged demonic takeover is what has happened in that situation. Only every once in a while, his soul comes to the surface, but it's usually to fool somebody. It's usually to trick somebody. Okay. He doesn't understand why no other woman wants him. And I've explained it to him. Well, look at the way that you did me. I mean, this man is so twisted and warped and possessed by demons that he actually came to my home with a video camera out and convinced himself that I was stalking him. And keep in mind that he almost filed false charges against me. He was talking about it, which those charges would have been false. So it tends to make you go out and do stupid stuff. For example, for him to be at my house recording, okay, he came to my home, not the other way around, at night to record me with him so-called curbing me. I don't even know what that means. And then he went out to the internet and told people that I was stalking him. Now, actually, he's being stalked by these demons. That's who the stalkers are, because they're all surrounding him. Um, Anytime somebody is stalking you, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Anytime you are stalking somebody, and you're in denial about it, but you point the finger at that person and say, no, it's you that's stalking me, I'm going to go and file a restraining order, even though you haven't been anywhere near them. You don't contact them, you don't say anything to them. they still feel like you're stalking them, even though they're stalking you. So it's a warped sense of self. There's no accountability. A man at the age of 45 years old should not be online every single day, roasting people. 6 years ago, we were both in our late 30s. This should have been something that he should have walked away from by the age of 40, but he carries on and on and on and on. My ex, not going to call his name, but he is possessed. Now, part of the reason why, and see, he's already been dethroned because the behavior that has been displayed is totally disgusting. It has been. It's just been disgusting. And because of the disgusting behavior, now he's picked up bad luck and poverty to the point where, because he doesn't know how to discern who to talk to and who not to talk to. So he's picked up poverty. He knows nothing about law of attraction. He knows nothing about cause and effect. He's completely an empty seeder for these demons. And he has proven to be dangerous to other people. He tries to make judgments on people's lives. He has delusions of grandeur. Everybody has their own personal power, but he truly believes that he has power over other people. When he doesn't, okay, he'll try to boss people around, tell people what to do, and he has absolutely no reason to do that because he's never done anything and been a success at it. Okay. Um, Also, another thing, one of the other reasons why you should remove hexes at an early age, as early as possible, uh, is because when you are possessed by that many demons and you're so blocked and you're so blind, it makes you easily accessible to other demons and then also witches or anybody that knows the art of mind control. So if you don't remove these hexes, you can be put under mind control very, very easily. And, I'm going to keep it real with you. I've given up hope on this person completely. Honestly, I've given up hope. At some point, if you keep trying to help somebody over and over again that just does not get it, you tend to find yourself falling deeper into a hole. And as long as he's in denial about it, as long as he doesn't face the music, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse on him. And he's led a lot of people astray. He has a lot of bad energy on him. You can see that it's obvious just with the behavior. He cannot act human. If you have a curse on you, a curse is what? Bad spirits, demons. It's a curse. Okay, curses are typically carried out by demons or spirits. Okay. Um, and he just can't think straight. He thinks a lot, but he's not thinking. Something else is doing all of the thinking for him. As sad as it sounds, as sad as it is, unfortunately, he'll probably never be right in the head. Curses can cause brain damage. I've seen a lot of people damaged in the brain because of curses. Yeah, you got to let those people go. You're right. It's not about what I deserve better. We're using him as a case study now. He's a case study. So that's not what this is about. This is about simply, making it clear for people that this person is spiritually ill. mentally ill, and refuses to listen to people that are wiser than he is. He feels as though because he's a man that people should look at him as somebody that's doing the correct thing. But when you notice the behavior is not conducive to that of uh, a smart man. It's not. He has absolutely no discernment. Literally, he doesn't see anything. He's completely blind. He doesn't even realize that he needs to wear prescription glasses, I think. I don't even think when he watches television that he can even see what's going on the television. Because he's always squinting. He obviously needs glasses because he's always looking up on the and a few weeks ago he was mentioning that his eyesight was going. Um and so it's sad when you see somebody that age, but if you're not doing something about it by the time you are 40, okay? By the time you are 40, at an age where he should have been doing something when he was 44, instead he was distracted by demons. He should have been doing something about it. Now he's crossed over into the twilight zone. He's completely delusional all day, every day. All day, everything. All day, every day. Mix that with alcohol abuse. He probably never consecrates his alcohol. He says he doesn't believe in witchcraft, but yet he cooks food, which is a form of witchcraft. It's kitchen witchery, but he doesn't believe in witchcraft. So then, therefore, witchcraft, which is what he needs to fix himself, he won't ever do it. He's so deluded. He's so deluded that he truly believes that he is not cursed. Every single day gets more frustrating to him. But to be honest with you, he's not even there anymore. He don't even exist anymore. Okay. At a time where he was supposed to have been working on himself, instead he was out there trying to tell other people what to do. Well, you need to figure out what you're going to do and apply it to yourself. He's always got advice for everybody else and judgment for everybody else, but he never judges himself. He never judges a situation correctly. For example, he claims that I'm such a horrible person. However, the reason why he believes that I'm a horrible person is because I have responded to the ridiculousness of his existence, of what he does. But he has absolutely no accountability. See, he can't remember. It's almost like a selective memory. He can't remember the things that he's doing to manifest the anger and the wrath of the woman. He cannot discern it. And do I feel that it's too late for him? Sometimes I do, because I feel like his brain has been damaged. That's somebody that's a brain damaged individual. That's not narcissism. So, for example, if he comes up to somebody and does something to them and they respond, he's pointing the finger at the person. He does not see what he does. He will die alone. Trust me, because ain't nobody going to put up with that. Nobody. There's not going to be anybody that's going to put up with that. Okay. And see, this is going to always keep him consistently broke. This is going to keep him consistently hating on me, somebody that is well established in my career. He hates women mainly because of his mother, but he cannot discern um, that he shouldn't hate on everybody. He's filled with hate. He holds on to a platform that he should have destroyed a long time ago, um, which is a hate club basically that he created for me. And he just doesn't get it. He doesn't get it, you know? Oh, he doesn't defend me at all. He feels as though I am a horrible person. Literally, all I've done was responded. All I've done was defended myself. Okay. So, and a lot of people have been looking and watching his behavior. Um, the only people that actually go, along with what he does are people that hate Jamila. So he gets very, very upset when he sees that people don't hate me. In fact, he's upset and angry at people that like me. He doesn't want anybody to like me. Now, that's a brain damaged individual. He's constantly saying disparaging things like nobody likes you. It's because that's what he wants. That's his agenda. But why? Why is that his agenda? Because I believe that because the man operates on jealousy and hatred. That's it. That's what he feeds himself every single day is jealousy and hatred. And his his um his only his only refuge is going to be to deal with a witch, because the person that put the curse on him put a curse of ignorance on him. He's very ignorant. He just keeps doing ignorant things. He's constantly very, very, very unstable person. Okay, has multiple personalities, but he doesn't necessarily have multiple personalities. He just has multiple demons, is what that is about. Yeah, pretty much is what he did. So, and I've been over it. I tried to help him for a couple of years, and I have, um, you know, I've had problems because of trying to help him. And then he gets with witches, and the only way people are gonna buy this stupid crap is you've got to be under spell work. In fact, I know for a fact that he must have done something, some kind of love spell or something, to even get to me in the first place, when in reality love spells are not even necessary. I remember speaking to him back in the day, and he was like at least halfway there. Now he's got a demon that is taken over that is so hateful and so ugly. And so this is the reason why he can't say thank you. He can't show appreciation. Can you imagine somebody being so damaged that if another person does something nice for them, they come back and shame the person that did something nice for them? And this shame has been something that, it's led to a lot of isolation on my part. Okay. Get them removed as early as possible. You got to get them removed as early as possible. When I was younger, I would always say the person that you are when you're 25 is who you're going to be the rest of your life. But then at 35, I noticed that I had an upgrade. But I think it's something about that midway point that's in between that century. So he turned 45 this year. But his mind didn't turn 45. Okay. He tried to sell himself as some hero for the community that degraded me, I guess, because I'm a witch. And it is very frustrated. I cannot sit back and be quiet about it. He needs an exorcism. He needs a contract breaker. He just needs a whole other. He needs himself back. Feel like what's happening is that it'll start to repress you. It'll start to oppress you, and then people around you. And I mean, I've pretty much given up hope on them. Just to let y'all know, I think that you should definitely like. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I have a lot of younger folks that come to me to get readings. Some of y'all be in y'all 20s, some of y'all be in y'all 30s, some of y'all be in y'all 40s. But I always tell people, if I would have known back when I was your age what I know now, I'd probably be retired and I'd be, much further. I would have gotten further faster if I would have known. Because I always say that in my 20s, I was stupid as hell. I was. Only thing good about my 20s was when I had my children. I had 3 children back to back in my 20s. Okay. And trust me, I've made some mistakes as a parent. I mean, anytime you ask your friends online to go live and roast a little boy, that means that the little boy inside of you must be crying out. But it's pretty sick because normal thinking adults would not do that. He covets sick, twisted, diabolical things instead of living life. Every video that he does, everything that he does, because he is on YouTube, he's always got to insult me in some kind of way. Because this man is the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is bad luck. I tend to stay away from people with that kind of bad luck. It's a person that's got bad luck, and he definitely is down on his luck. Anytime you're that desperate for, friends, or either you're desperate for money like that, that's a sign of being cursed. And you don't go far in life when you're doing some of the things that I have witnessed him doing. And it's so crazy because, other people have called it out. And that's the main aspect of his demonic possession. And people have called it out, but he just refuses to see the forest from the trees. He just refuses. Let me see what y'all talking about in the chat. Someone said, "Uh-oh." You must have heard a spirit or something, because I ain't nobody said "uh-oh" over here. Oh, this is a good question, Slick the Shocker, or Slick Shocker. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the way that, because the demons have been with him for a long time, it's kind of like a defense mechanism. So he definitely was singled out. He was isolated. He was shamed for the way that he looked as a child, possibly mistreated. His siblings were more than likely treated better than him. Um, and he pretty much hates life. I mean, he tried to tell me at the age of 37 that I was too old to have children. Imagine what a person would think of you if you go around saying things like that. People are going to have suspicions about you. But, my suspicion is that it's demonic possession. He's the perfect example, him as well as my father. And, as a woman, I don't have to respect that. As a woman, I don't have to respect the things that you do, you know? He needs to learn to listen to women. Otherwise, his longevity will not be there. It'll be non existent. He started displaying signs of this in his 20s. He's very, very evil. And his kryptonite is using sympathy on people. That's what he does. He uses sympathy. Um, Women don't have to be under the ruling of men like that. For some reason, he thought he ran me. He thought he ran my company. He thought that he could tell me what to do. Um, and literally has been wasting 6 years of his life under demonic possession, doing and accomplishing nothing. I agree, Slick Shocker, but that's no excuse. That's no excuse. I don't know the severity of the abuse. It could have been pretty severe. I know that he was raised with a lot of fear. So he loves fear. He loves to go out on a limb. He loves to be on the edge of night. He's kind of like a daredevil. And you don't want to end up like that. Somebody that's so judgmental that they look crazy. Somebody that totally makes the wrong decisions every single day, making bad decisions. And I also think that it was some kind of religious upbringing as well, which is the reason why, for example, he attacked me on Christmas. He attacks me every holiday. He, does everything in his power again to try to isolate me constantly. Okay. He's not selective. He takes money from any and everybody. He doesn't understand why you shouldn't be doing that, why you shouldn't be just taking money from random people, from random strangers. And of course, he also has the demon of desperation and poverty on it. Anytime you're recording someone's house claiming that they're stalking you, anytime you do that, you're completely checked out to lunch. And you know what, to be honest with you, I don't know anything about his finances. If you ask him, he thinks he's an expert on my finances, even though my financial situation is none of his business. You know, what I do know is that he tried to interfere with God's plan, which meant that God cursed him. You know, because he had an intent or an agenda to tear me down because I'm a woman. And none of my accomplishments do anything for him. So he's one of those types of people that he does not think about other people. Very demonic, very evil, very rotten to his core. In fact, a man like him, that apple curse would do him some good because he needs to be spooked a little bit. Okay, he needs to be woken up. He's sleep while the demons are controlling him all day and night, typically. And he doesn't understand the blessing of a person that comes into his life to try to offer him change and the way to do it. Okay. So for me as a woman, it's no changing this person. And that's something that I have accepted a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for example, claiming that a woman is only a booty call, even though he's asking people to tattoo his name on them. You know what I'm saying? Um, and it's just so sad seeing him every single day caught up in that mess. So, I think people should not respect what he's doing. Especially his blatant disrespect of me, because I work with the angels as well. I work with both sides. So my place in his life was to show him the light, but he refuses to do that because I'm a woman. And then also he hates himself because of um he hates himself. Okay? He does. And he, the just the complete disrespect and disregard that he tried to put me through proves that it's something wrong with him. For example, when me and him had a discussion about him purposely trying to make me look stupid. Now, this to me is ignorance when people do that, because I believe that what they do is that they make themselves look stupid while they're trying to make other people look stupid. But by the time you get a certain age, you're not going to be able to discern that. It's almost like the demons have put his mind completely to sleep. And it's like talking to a brick wall. A simple reversal cleansing, and it wouldn't happen overnight, but that's what he would need. But he says that he doesn't believe in witchcraft, which I'm gonna be honest with you, it means that you don't believe in God, in my opinion, you know. So um the problems and the issues that he tried to dump off on me are not exactly my problem and never have been. And so I've chalked it up as to demonic possession due to being cursed for so long. When you've been cursed for so long, a lot of times it's very difficult to make your way back to yourself. Okay. or for yourself to emerge from the inside out, because he refuses to cleanse himself of those entities that are controlling him. And the fact that he's older, um, without an open mind, he doesn't really have an open mind, which because he's closed minded, he's very limited in his thinking. He told me that I should judge my entire life based upon 20 people in this world that don't like me. He wanted me to judge myself based upon his hate club. You don't want that to happen to you. When I first came to Georgia, I was 37 years old. I cleansed myself for 3 years straight. Cleansed myself. I removed generational hexes from myself. And, and he's done nothing. He's done none of the work that's needed. None of the work that's actually needed to be done to this person has been done. His constant MO is trying to embarrass me publicly while he embarrasses himself, because none of it makes any sense. Well, I have love for everybody, but as far as when it comes to me, when I see that all you're doing is bringing negativity to me every single day. And so I guess people are waiting for this person. I stopped waiting for them to do right by me a long time ago. And a lot of other people probably did. He thought he was smart enough to ruin my company. He tried to tell me what to do. Being away from that energy is so good for you, though. Just being away from that energy. So, definitely, if you know that it's something that's on you, especially you need to look at the older people in your family, see, what kind of diseases they're getting, how are they thinking, how are they functioning, and I can guarantee you that you'll find a problem. He doesn't understand why his life won't get better. It's never going to get better as long as you're spitting in the face of God. He's an ungodly man. People like that should have a better relationship with God. And what I mean by God is source, the most high. Okay. Absolutely no connection. I've told him before, what's the point in you having long hair? What's the point in having long hair when your crown chakra is broken and you can't really get what you need? Your consciousness is broken as well. What good is that doing? And usually his only rebuttal is that he owns his own house, which, by the way, the bank owns, not him. You know what I'm saying? The bank owns your house, not you. You don't really own it until it's paid off, until the note is paid off. Another way you can tell that you're demonically possessed or cursed is when you hate people that you have absolutely no reason to hate. The level of hatred, which reflects off of self, has been astronomical. Okay. Also, another thing you can tell is that, when you connect with other people, those people may end up with some of your spirits that are bad luck. So he has a lot of bad luck on him. See, I have a lot of good luck. And he thinks that he's doing something called energy harvesting, which is totally ridiculous, but he does it anyway. He wanted to take away the security of my children because he never had it as a child himself. So that's why he attacks me, every single day. Even when he's not on YouTube, he's attacking me some way spiritually, thinking about me, thinking all these horrible negative thoughts about me constantly. Um, and it's just so sad. It really is. Just the level of demonic possession that's in this man, and he refuses to listen. He absolutely refuses to accept the truth. He does. Oh yeah, it's definitely unfair and sad, but see, that's how he feels about himself. And he figures that if he targets one person, that he can fool everybody. He thinks that people can't see what he's doing. Okay, and see, mostly those people, the reason why they just agree with him because they don't want to become, uh, a target of his. So that's why people don't say nothing. They just kind of go along with it because they know that he'll try to target them in some kind of way. Which I mean, I've never cared about his so-called roasting. I've never cared about that ever because it means nothing. So yeah. And he disrespects me in private also, Slick Shocker. He started doing that for months now, just being disrespectful. The disrespect started when he refused to take accountability. People that refuse to take accountability for their actions, they refuse to take accountability for why you're upset with them. uh, and so it got worse and worse as the months went on. And like I said, I've given up hope on them. I don't want anything else to do with them. I have asked God to deliver me from his evil. I don't want nothing else to do with them. Every time I say that, I start to feel somewhat attacked. But trust me, um, you know, I'm never going to fall subject to those attacks again because it's a sympathy attack. It's like, oh, sympathize with me, feel sorry for me, understand me. And I can't understand you when you are trying to directly affect me. Um, which again, like I said, politically, I'm a lesbian. I am a political lesbian because, and I don't know what he thought, but I guess a lot of people felt like, oh, I'm going to judge her based upon him. Well, he's no judge. He has no power. This person don't have no power over me. The only person that has power over Jamila is Jamila. You got to have an extreme warped consciousness to, get somebody to go and, to go and get somebody to roast a child. Okay, you're 45 years old and you're asking your little friends and buddies online to roast an 8-year-old kid. That's pretty sick. Yeah, well, cursed individuals like that, such as himself, they bring a lot of bad juju into people's lives. And it comes a point when you have to say, you know what, I've had enough. I don't, I'm completely detaching from this person emotionally. I want nothing else to do with them anymore. And it's almost like this constant cycle. It's just, it's a constant cycle, you know? He dumps all of his negative emotions off on people, in particular, and especially me. He dumps everything off on people, you know? I think he told me one day that Black lives don't matter, but then the next day Black lives do matter, and then the next day Black lives don't matter, and he's Black. So he thinks down upon he thinks down upon African American people, which we all know that African American people are very smart, very resourceful people. And I think he should be called out for it. I think a lot of people don't want to call him out for it because he's always willing to stalk a person. Okay, somebody tell him say this or say that, and he'll say it. He's like, and so anytime a man can do that without any consciousness, without thinking, because he's not thinking at all. And I'm gonna be honest with you. We are at the end of the road to where I will never be judged again because of him. Okay, my spirits they're pretty upset about me being judged for trying to help somebody. When you see somebody with that kind of mental capacity to where they're roasting a little kid, you got to think, okay, something's wrong with you. Something's seriously wrong with you. And then literally will try to take the security. He tried to take the security from my children. Ooh, I just found something. Yay. I can't believe I found them. Yay. Oh, nice. This is nice. Constantly calling somebody out of their name, constantly subjugating people, constantly on a mission to try to do harm to people's spirit, constantly trying to break your spirit, constantly, um, you know, you know, especially when you do a lot for this person and they refuse to give you any sort of appreciation. Dealing with people like that can be extremely devastating to a person's mind if you're not careful. So the same, toxicity and craziness that, he did to me as an adult was more than likely done to him as a child. But that doesn't mean that just because somebody abused you as a child that you should be allowed to go out and abuse others, especially people that were trying to help you, especially people that knew that you had a problem. He'll try to act like he got something over on somebody when his behavior for the past 6 years, the first 4 years already predicted what this person was going to do. And then even try to discredit me as a psychic because of his behavior, which is very unpredictable, by the way. He's very unpredictable. You just never know what kind of mood he's going to be in. You never know what he's going to be thinking. You never know what agenda he's going to be on. He's constantly on an agenda. Everything that he does, he's he's constantly just struggling, living as a human being. And it's because he's so filled with demons. Human beings don't act that way. They don't. Now, some of these cross conditions that you can have, they tend to affect a person's health. Okay. Thank you, Ella. Yeah, he doesn't see me at all. He only sees his own flaws, and he projects them out to me all the time. All the time. Just anger, constantly trying to get back at people for things that they didn't do, constantly trying to, get one up on somebody. I mean, what grown man comes online and actually says, I did this for clout on YouTube? Like, why would you do something? Why would you do anything for any type of superficial purpose? Especially when the purpose, you would think that he would be, getting paid millions, but literally getting paid pennies on the dollar to make a complete fool of himself. That's because he just doesn't realize it. Hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. Um, his energy every single day on here is unwarranted and unwanted, in my opinion. Um, and what was I going to say about that? I didn't need to be a psychic to see what he was going to do based upon his behavior 6 years ago. So it has nothing to do with whether or not I'm a real psychic or not. It's just that, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you what you were going to do, or to tell anybody what you were planning on doing. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all something. My spirits are through. They done. They done so. They done. He was helping a situation. The funny part about it is that he kept accusing me of helping somebody, but he was actually helping somebody else against their agenda on me. And it literally almost made me lose everything. I had to call in my favors to get stuff done. Now, you would think that he would be able to think, if you screw up this lady's life, if you get her thrown out of her home, don't you think that that lady is going to come for you? Don't you think that she going to get you somehow? It doesn't register. It doesn't click. So then at that point, it's like, well, first of all, we're going to move the goalposts back to where it should be. Second of all, I don't need your validation. So his thought process that I need his validation is what leads him to invalidating me, because he wants to completely go against, but see, he's not being honest. He's a liar. He doesn't live within his truth. He doesn't. So, and I can accept it. I think that he wants to pretend as though, um, he wants to pretend, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. But in reality, he does need to change. He needs to do it before he turns 50, or else he's going to be a really, really sad, miserable old man. And really, he already is sad and miserable, like right now. Very sad and miserable. Woke up today miserable, woke up hating his life. Oh my God, why do I hate my life? But, you know, and so once he gets up and he starts moving around, that's when his demons become activated. And he needs some kind of narcissistic supply. Every time he opens up his mouth to talk about other people, he's really talking about himself every single time. And that's a very foolish person. You know, people that are cursed like that, they typically will get killed or either go to jail. And when it comes to African American men of his age, a woman, an African American woman, would not choose him, not somebody that is decent. You know, they just won't choose a man that's 45 years old, still acting like a child, an irresponsible child. Doesn't want women to use their own power. I'm not talking about somebody joining OnlyFans. I'm talking about somebody using their own power. It's been constant harassment by this man for 6 long years. And if I were you all, I would stay away from his channel. I know I unsubbed today. I was like, oh God, I can't deal with this. I'm like, look, I am the queen of witches, okay? You know, you're not, what's the word that I'm looking for? He shows complete and utter ignorance all the time. Complete and total ignorance every single day. But yet he wants respect. Well, you know what? Respect is earned, not given. So if a male is disrespecting women, then he gets what he gets and he doesn't throw a fit. Okay? So and so as he falls deeper into the hole, that's the more and more that he attacked. And he started targeting my family in 2015. I tried to make it right for this person, but this person does not have enough common sense to embrace it and take it as a blessing. He can't do that. He can't take it as a blessing. Nice little excuse. Thank you, Santa Martha. He made up a nice little excuse that he could have so that he could make an excuse for why he consistently disrespects me, allows his chat room to disrespect me. And there is no excuse. Everything that he does and says from this moment on will absolutely be his judgment. Because, I believe that the reason why we're even having this discussion is because spirit is giving up on this person. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I mean, he thought the stuff that he was doing was cool to be doing, right out in the public. Well, I mean, I'd rather you be honest, but the honesty is a lie. It's a fallacy because he doesn't really feel that way about me because I don't feel that way about me. He feels that way about himself. And it will always go back to him. Everything that he's done the past few months is going to backfire on him so quickly in his pursuit to prove that he doesn't care. And then he expected that to be the judge, so mote be. He expected that to be the judge of how everybody else was supposed to feel about me. And it's indeed very sad to see him doing it every single day. Make sure that if you in your 30s, your 20s, your 30s, the further you get to 40, the closer you get to 40 years of age, um, it lessens your chances of actually even having the discernment to even do something about it. He can't do anything about it by himself. He needs help that he refuses to get. And for me, I'm not going to be affected or afflicted by this person. I truly refuse to. So make sure that you paying attention. Make sure that if you ever start to think that way, that you check yourself. You need to check yourself if you actually think that way, if you actually believe in this man's way of life. You're going down a very, very lonely path of isolation, trying to get revenge on people for things that they've never done to you. Just a lot of the stuff that he does. Yeah, he is crazy. He is. Well, he does that because I believe that's how he was raised. Okay. That's how he was raised. So, and like I was saying, with as far as with witchcraft, men like that tend to be eternally blind, like my father. It's the truth, and he'll get upset whenever I tell the truth about that. But it's the truth, you know. So you got to check yourself before you wreck yourself. This man started this hate club, and he actually started a trend of talking about children. When he was given some kind of grace by God, he insulted God, questioned God. Now he's playing a mind game with himself. Basically, boys and girls, especially some of you younger folk out there, don't ever, ever, ever treat anybody. I don't care if it's a man, woman, or a child. Don't ever treat people that way, the way that he's treated me. And that may be true. He's definitely lost. He's definitely lost. I told him, I said, you've lost your mind. And that's been going on for the past year. Hardcore. Thinking he can talk to people any kind of way, thinking he can treat people any kind of way, thinking that he can, just say whatever he wants to say. And you can't do that. He does need to heal himself, but see, he's also going to need a little bit more than healing. He's going to have to completely, and I'm not saying it's no hope for somebody his age, but more than likely, if you're acting that way when you're 45, you're probably going to be acting that way for the rest of your life. Okay. So you just get to the point where you just don't care about a person like that anymore. You got to look out for yourself. and it is what it is. Then also when you're delusional enough to think that you actually, I'm not even going to say that. Um, I'm not even going to say that. Okay, so especially when it comes to those generational hexes, he's got a bad one on him for real. And he doesn't believe in witchcraft, so he'll never take it off of him. He's not talking to me behind the scenes anymore. I don't have anything to say to him, so it's over for me. Right, exactly, Slick Shocker. He feels that I am below his standards, which he doesn't actually feel that way. He doesn't actually feel that way. He just portrays that to the public because, he is very easily to persuade. The reason why he's weak minded is because of all those demons and spirits in him. I don't think he needs to die. I just think that he needs to change his way. He needs change is what he needs, and he's definitely an alcoholic. And you know how alcoholics, when they go to AA or they go to 12 step programs, they typically, once they get sober, they go and they apologize to all of the people that they hurt. But in the meantime, if you are dealing with somebody that's cursed like that, that came to you cursed with the same curses, when you're dealing with somebody like that, you have to be careful with yourself. Okay, you have to be careful with people like that. Only an experienced practitioner should deal with someone like that. He feels that he's the only one that should have a house. He feels he's the only one that should eat, so he's very greedy. He feels that he's the only one in the world that should prosper because there's only actually 20 people in the world to him. That's it. Instead of him taking the hint, from his spirits, because all of it is in spirit. Instead of him taking the hint, what he'll do is he'll go back on his channel and he'll be extremely abusive. Instead of him saying, dang, I did that. Did I really do that? Did I really behave that way? And, he kind of thinks that some of the things that he does hurts me, but it just, it doesn't hurt me. It just kind of makes me think, you seriously are severely brain damaged. You don't have to have a physical trauma to become brain damaged. You can become brain damaged from being demonically possessed too long. Yeah, you're right. He does talk down. He talks down to a lot of people. He has absolutely no reason. What he needs to do is he needs to go somewhere and sit down and be humble. That's what I want to say in closing. Dang, a whole hour has went by. Okay, guys, I gotta go. I will see y'all later. My suggestion is to just stop watching him because I don't watch him anymore. His energy is way too toxic. So I would suggest any of you guys that know who I'm talking about to not even watch him. Okay. Wouldn't listen to anything that he says. And I and you know what? Knowledge is key. Having knowledge. And this is something that he needs, but he can't seem to obtain it. Well, hopefully karma usually does get people like that. You know what I'm saying? Usually does. And he's been dethroned a long time ago. He don't have a throne. Just the reality of it. There's no throne, there's no kingdom, there's nothing except for an empty shell of a person that can't accept that he needs to bring change to his life and that he needs to quit looking down on witchcraft. I mean, I think it was horribly disgusting. Um, there's a lot of people that don't want to hear what he has to say anymore because of things that he's done and things that he said. Just sounds incredibly ignorant. So that's how you can tell that they're using glamour. Oh, look at all these people that are watching my channel. Oh, look at this, look at that. Listen, guess if you're playing the numbers game, then, but it's like there's not a level of understanding. He does not understand that it's been wrong for him to be stalking me because the guy that I'm talking about actually stalked me for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. And we're very progressive over here. I did work very hard. I had to focus and concentrate on work, and he completely tried to discredit all of my accomplishments. Well, I don't need for you to validate my accomplishments. In fact, I don't need his validation at all. So that whole glamour is cleared, you know? So get your work, start working on yourself now. Don't wait till you get his age. It's too late. It's way too late for him, I think, at his age, because even 6 years ago, his thinking was warped a lot. He's a very warped individual. Yeah, it's just constant drama, 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 and then complain about the drama that he's creating. So, hmm curses and hexes can really, really make you blind sometimes, blind to your own problems. So just go ahead and get that stuff off of you now. That way you're not sitting around in your 40s, trying to figure out your life. Get it together before that. In reality, whether or not a person is on housing assistance or not, they still have more than you. And that's the truth, you know? So, that's the result of a cursed person. They don't want to listen. And it's nothing more that anybody can do about it. All right, guys, I gotta go. Y'all have a happy Friday. I know I'm gonna have a happy Friday. I am single, I am sexy, and I am free. And lastly, before I go, you have to be able to be a self critic and have critical thinking skills. And I don't think that critical thinking skills has actually been encouraged, especially he's a school advocate. Um, that those things have done you no good. you know. All right, guys, I will see y'all later. Peace and love to y'all and blessings. Bye bye.